Every year, the Indian state of Assam comes alive for the spring festival of Bihu. It's a massive, vibrant celebration marked by community feasts, music, and distinct rhythmic dancing. If you look closely at these celebrations, the traditional garments worn by the dancers are impossible to miss. These intricately woven textiles are a deep symbol of regional identity and Assamese pride. But while the city of Guwahati was distracted by the festivities, 3 people decided to use the energy of the crowds as cover to break into a home. Rather than sticking to the shadows, they attempted to hide in plain sight, using the community's own festive garments as a disguise. Putting on a highly visible, sacred piece of clothing to commit a burglary is a bold choice, but assuming you can clumsily wear a local cultural symbol without drawing immediate suspicion is a massive miscalculation of how closely people watch their own traditions. The crew behind this operation consisted of 32-year-old John Moni Sharma, his wife, Danata Devi, and a third accomplice, 31-year-old Gagan Barman. In a typical setup requiring a female disguise to avoid attention, the obvious choice would be for the female accomplice, the wife, to wear the traditional women's clothing. Sharma deviated from that logic, opting to drape the traditional mekhala chador over himself instead of his wife. To complete the illusion, he fully committed to the bit, adding a wig and carrying a handbag to mask his identity from the neighbors. Dressed in this makeshift outfit, Sharma and his crew successfully broke into a Guwahati house, ransacking the property while the surrounding community was busy enjoying the spring festival. The sheer absurdity of a man pulling off a daylight heist in a wig and a mekhala chador likely gave the crew a false sense of invincibility, blinding them to the fundamental risks of their operation. Inside the home, the trio grabbed cash and raw jute, but they also made off with high-value textiles, specifically muga silk, the golden threaded fabric famously known as Assam's pride. Alongside the cash and silk, they found their primary payday, traditional gold jewelry, the kind of high-value collateral that typically funds a criminal's escape. Normally, a thief looking to get rid of traceable jewelry has 2 options: melt the gold down into unrecognizable blocks, or sell it quietly to an underground fence for pennies on the dollar. This chart shows how standard criminals operate on the left, compared to the path this crew took on the right. Instead of fencing the gold anonymously, they handed over the stolen jewelry as collateral for a formal loan. Police called this their idea of investment, which generated a massive paper trail linking them to the stolen goods. Introducing government-issued paperwork into a fencing operation is a catastrophic failure of logic. They traded the anonymity of the black market for a fast track to prison. Thanks to that trail of evidence, their plan rapidly collapsed. A team from the East Guwahati Police District out of the Basista police station picked up their scent almost immediately. The authorities tracked the crew down and arrested Sharma, Devi, and Barman in one swift operation, bringing their brief holiday crime spree to a hard stop. When investigators searched their belongings, they recovered a strange combination of physical evidence: the burglary tools, a van, a scooter, and of course, the wigs and handbags used in the disguise. The Guwahati City Police brought the case to the public eye via social media, posting a full display of the recovered items to highlight the ridiculous nature of the crime. Along with the photos, the police issued a firm warning, urging the public never to misuse traditional and cultural attire to commit unlawful acts. A disguise built on cultural exploitation and a financial plan built on institutional paper trails is never a masterstroke. It is merely a highly documented recipe for inevitable capture.